who's texting me who I don't recognize this phone number is like, do you know where I can get one of these? No, Amazon?
So for our friends out there who are listening and don't know that Justin doesn't know we just started recording on him in the middle of his singing along. It'll probably get cut out, but it's kind of fun anyway. Since Justin edits, I like to do that because he doesn't like to edit, and usually we'll just like flow right through.
Yeah, but you still need the intro call.
Well, you can intro now.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Aces Conference, the podcast. I'm here with my friend Tim. We have a guest, Adam Rice, is on. We're talking about Aces. It's May 19th and 20th, 2020. Get your tickets now at acesconf.com. What's up, Tim? What's up, Adam? I don't care about you, Tim. Adam, it's been a while since you and I have spoken. How's that for an intro?
I like it.
It's been a while since you and I have spoken. Adam, you've been coming to Aces since the beginning, right? You've been every year, I think.
Absolutely, every year. When was the first Aces?
What year? 2014.
2014, yeah. 2012 was the year I started my business, and that's because I had a job I liked doing web development, project management stuff with a company in New York City, but they got hit, I guess, by the downturn at the end of that decade, and got sold to an advertising company. And I was like, this is just not for me. I'm not going to sit here and build the surveillance economy. So I just kind of stopped commuting from Philadelphia, where I'm based, into New York City, and they kind of eventually decided they were going to stop paying me. And I was like, well, what else can I do?
The glitch got fixed. They fixed the glitch.
Right.
I like that. Yeah, they just one day they realized, oh, I'm not showing up for work anymore.
It was mutual. It was fine. But yeah, I had always been like the first thing I think I got paid to do was like IT at the academic computing lab, in college in like 94. And I loved it. And my career just kind of bounced back and forth between IT and web stuff. But then when I had to figure out what was next, I thought I'd make a go of it. So 2012, posted on Craigslist, like did whatever I could figure out to do to like, get my name out. But yeah, when Aces came around, I was like, yes, this is exactly what I need. Like if there's anybody who, can tell me how to run this business, like I'm there.
I mean, you've been a big fan of ours. You've been a big fan of ours since the beginning, and we've watched you grown. And I say we in the royal sense, but like we've watched you grown, and I think it's been amazing. And I like your scrappy style, like posting on Craigslist and just being like, let me see what's out there. Because like people who are starting out now, they forget about. I mean, I remember I used to scrounge Craigslist looking for jobs. People would be like, looking for Mac help. We'll pay $10 an hour, and I'd call them. I'd be like, 175, and they'd be like, oh, I guess. You know what I mean? Like you just got to pick and choose. I got a couple of, we don't have them anymore, but like for a while we had a couple of contracted clients and stuff like that. You got to be scrappy sometimes. I like that.
You do. And especially when the market turns and the recessions hit, and, I'm not saying anything about what our current economy might be.
We're talking about politics on this show.
I'm not talking about politics on this show, but I am saying that I think the stock market is down like 2,000 points this week. It's a significant drop. And, that reflects on businesses and businesses' ability to buy things, purchase things. And it's certainly not about politics as much as it is about the current coronavirus scare, I'm sure. But it's all stuff that, I could see the day 6 months, well, probably not 6 months from now, but maybe a year from now, where we're looking for work, and what are the ways we do it? I think I talked about, I don't know where I talked about it before, but we used to tell our techs, we would give them a stack of business cards and flyers, and as they were walking down the street from one appointment to another, if you come across a business that has a Mac in the window, you need to go and knock on the door and give them give them the thing, and we give them $50 for signing up a client.
Right. Scrappy.
Yeah. Like you got to do it.
Marketing.
Everybody's got to do it. Yeah. Whatever you can do.
So Adam, you started in 2012. You've been to every Aces. How's business now?
Business is actually really, really good. It's very, very good. In the last 2 years, I started picking up, there's a significantly larger, well-established consultant in the market nearby that overlaps, and we've got a healthy, good relationship. So he outgrows clients, and he doesn't want to just dump them. So he's able to make an introduction and say, we're really focusing on businesses with 20, 30 plus seats. Unfortunately, we have to discontinue working with you, but I'd like to hook you up with somebody who might be a good fit. So the business, I do a strong mix of small business and residential consulting, and I really love working with individuals. And a lot of I go into somebody's home, and there's somebody like me, like they're running their own business, and that's why they know that they need to invest in their tech and have things done right. But with everything I've learned with ACES and with this relationship, I've been able to add a good number of small businesses and get that monthly recurring revenue to continue to rise.
Money. That's
Yeah.
what I like.
Yep.
That's so great. It's so important too to like foster these relationships amongst ourselves, the other business owners, so that we can have reliable people, as someday you're going to outgrow some customers, or and to have someone that we can pass them off to that's good, and know that the customer's in good hands, you're in good hands.
It's also good because you never know when someone's gonna like decide to stop doing this. Like I'm friends with a couple of consultants in the city, and one of them is kind of slowing down his consulting stuff because he wants to go do something else. So he handed off a couple of clients to us, and luckily he's not out of the business altogether, because we're going I'm bringing my whole team down for training in Miami, and we needed someone to cover for emergencies. Luckily, he's still in business long enough that way he can cover for us. But that kind of, you should foster those relationships and find. It's funny that because like part of me, when you were saying what you were saying, Adam, part of me was like, are you getting his like leftovers? But at the same time, like, because I'm a negative person, right? But like but at the same time, like that doesn't matter, right? Like it's not like, they may not fit for him, but they could be perfectly fit for you and your lifestyle.
I went into it. Yeah. I mean, each time he connected me with somebody, I was like, all right, what's the deal here? Like why? I mean, I one of the clients that I'm working with, I genuinely love. They're one of my very favorites. Another one, they're just no trouble at all. I just cash the check. I mean, it's just the money just shows up.
That's the best kind of money.
It really is. Yeah. So yeah.
I think the only thing that could top that is if you got a FedEx envelope with just like hundreds in it.
Right.
Like in like a boiler room.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't even know. I don't know why things are going so well for me, but I think
jinx it.
Got to be due to ACES, and
don't say that. Don't look at Justin's head. Just got like 3 times bigger than it was a second ago. You can't give it all to ACES.
All Adam has to do is say it's all because of ACES, and then go May 19th and 20th. Get your tickets down at acesconf.com, and then he might replace you as my co-host.
That's fine. I'm okay with that.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I think I was really well positioned because I did have a little bit of a cushion, right? I had a little bit of savings, so I was able to grow slowly and thoughtfully. Right. I didn't have to just like run myself to death the first 3 or 4 years when I wasn't making much money at all. But I was learning what to do. I was figuring out, just where the market is. At first, the first couple of years, I was really like, is anybody going to pay me for this? Like I'm getting some work, but it's not enough. And what's going on here? Like maybe people don't want to spend more than $30. Maybe they want a 20-year-old who's looking for summer work to, hook up their printer, and that's it.
Right.
And now I see the case, but
yeah, but even 12 years in for Virtua, I still question whether or not, would somebody pay us for this, or why people are paying us for this. And like, my team is great. Like Luke and Alex on my team, not that they listen, but they're amazing, and they have crushed especially the last couple of months. And so we provide our value that way. But like, it's hard, especially if you're starting out, or even if you have to restart. I know a couple of us have had to restart our businesses, and to remember how to be scrappy and what to do, and how to build those relationships to leverage to get more business, and then to find your way back to getting that monthly recurring revenue money that we all love. It's hard. It's a hard thing to do, especially if you're just starting out and you've already had a job for a while and you work for a company. It's never the same. I mean, that's what happened to me, right? Like I worked for an Apple consultant, and then he sold his business, and then I worked for an ISP for a couple of years before I started my own. And I had to remember all the things to do, which was terribly hard, which is why I started ACES in the first place. And Adam has become our poster child for it.
Are there going to be Adam Rice posters at ACES?
No,
and can I sign one?
We always just have rice at the meals. It's our way of. It's a subtle nod to Adam. Very subtle. It's so subtle, Adam didn't even know it was happening.
That's true.
Oh my God, we've lost it already. So Adam, going back to your business, right? So now, you do residential use home business. What do you think differentiates you though, from? Granted, the person you're getting a lot of that business from does bigger business, but do you have any significant differentiators from them other than client size?
I mean, it's interesting. I think there's a natural kind of growth kind of path for a business like this, right? Like at this point, I'm thinking really hard about, am I going to be hiring a tech? Am I going to be hiring an admin? Am I going to be, working with a consultant? But for, so far, for the last 8 years, it's been me. And that's, at this point, a huge advantage because somebody hires me, they get to know me. If they like me, and trust me, right? That they feel really good about working with me. And I'm listening to Command Control Power and listening to the wisdom of everybody else who's got their team. And it can be really tricky to bring somebody on. And then, I don't know how you find somebody with a combination of skills and talents and personality that I have. So,
the first 3 or 4 won't. I mean, you try and you work really hard to find that person that is you, or is your yang to you, or whatever it is. And one of the things you have to get yourself okay with is that your first hire is going to be awful. And your second hire might be worse than the first. But
that's exactly what happened to me. I don't know where that kid is, and I hope he's not listening, but second hire, not so good. Sorry, kid.
I mean, no, and you kind of cycle through them, and then, but then you kind of can also get to a point where you have to take that as a learning process and a curve too, and that this one's gonna, it's like buying a house, when people, I'm always, I don't know. I always think it's funny when we work with younger people. I'll call them kids because I'm old. We're with kids, that are clients that are late 20s, early 30s, and they're just getting married. They're buying their first house, and they're agonizing over all of this, and but they talk about this is their forever home, and they want to buy it as their forever home. I'm like, kid, there's no way this is your forever home. You're, no matter how amazing it is, you're going to want better. It's going to be better. And I think that we have to get over, especially as small business owners, we have to get over that. We're not going to find the hire that's going to stay with us to their retirement.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I mean, maybe we will, but what we have to try to find, I think, is maybe the hire that's going to get me through this next year, and hopefully they'll stick longer. Hopefully it'll work out well, and that's just this asshole's opinion. I'm sure there are others, but
I like the best thing I like about hiring somebody is that it helps poke holes in the systems that we've already built. We put so much in documentation and IT glue, so we hire somebody and we're go on site and do XYZ. Instructions are in IT glue, and then they come back and they go, there aren't instructions in IT glue. We go, oh, go, darn it, we have to write those instructions, right? Like we do a lot of that kind of stuff every time we hire somebody new, and it allows us to also grow and build stronger. But that would be if you had the processes to think about that before you had your first hire, which they always say like the first hire is the hardest. I think every hire is the hardest. I don't think there is any one particular. And then the choice of, do I get an admin? Do I get a tech? Do I get a whatever? Really falls. And I think a lot of people ask that question, like, who should my first hire be? And I think that's case by case dependent. I think, you know where your skill set is and you know what you're good at. So you usually want to hire somebody to fill in the gaps for what you're not good at.
Yeah.
If you're not good at administration, hire an admin. If you're not good at marketing, hire a marketing person. If you're not good at technology, don't be an IT consultant.
The way I've thought about it, yeah, I mean, it seems like a lot of people come down on the side of hire an admin, right? Because you're just going to get efficiencies that you don't really necessarily know or expect. And not speaking from experience, so just cut me off if there's no value. But it seems to me that, like, as I think about, what would I want an admin to do? Like, these are all opportunities. Like, what I'm really thinking about is, like, where do I need to improve my processes? Like, where are my tools falling down? Like, what can I integrate and automate better? So that's kind of how I look at that at this point.
And and I think that that's a really good way to do that. Like, we have tried really hard the last couple of years because we've failed at good hiring, and the job market here has been so hard. We the last guy that we hired, we offered him a $15,000 raise over his previous employer. He came to work for us. He worked for us for 3 months. His previous employer came back and gave him a $20,000 raise over what we were paying him. And it's just like, I can't. Yeah. It was a stretch as it was. I couldn't compete with that, right? And so what we kind of really doubled down on our tools, or tripled down on our tools, to find, what things can we do to make our processes simpler, what things, are faster for us, or where could we consolidate things in tech wise. But also, yeah, certainly with admin things, like, we didn't hire an admin, but we looked at things where we were, burning a lot of time, and like, for me, one of the things was just scheduling. And so, like, adding a tool like Calendly to automate some of my scheduling and take that back and forth, or that 5 or 10 emails off my plate to schedule one appointment, has been a big deal. Yeah. And having better grasp of our tools, like we use Attendees, so doubling down on how we were doing it and making sure we were doing it as efficiently as possible has made a big difference in just the amount of time we could do, and the amount of people that we could help without adding bodies. And so but everybody's different. Everybody has different.
There's two things that caught my ear about that. One is that, like, I mean, I did this on an episode of Command Control Power where I said, like, go all in on your tools, right? Like, because if you go all in on your tools, you can figure out whether or not those efficiencies are there. So, like, we went all in on Attendees and DEP, for example, to help speed up that onboarding process, right? But the other thing you mentioned, Tim, was the track, like, figuring out what you're doing with your time. And I find that a lot of people, myself included, don't actually track what they do in a given day. Like, at the end of the day, Adam, right? Like, can you say you were productive that day, right? Like, did you get all the things on your to-do list done? Did you have those clients? Fine. But, like, over the course of the week, like, what did you actually do this week? And do you know what that is? And what of those things can be offloaded to a second employee, offloaded to an admin, offloaded to whoever? Yeah. And that's something that people typically fail to do. We taught our admin, who's now operations manager, how to reset people's passwords in Active Directory through TeamViewer, because we were getting so many emails about it from, like, one particular client. Because that was something that was on my text plate like 3 times a day, every day for 2 weeks. We're like, he doesn't have time to do this. Give this to Lauren. She has the bandwidth and we made instructions, we made a video, we taught her how to do it, put it in IT glue, showed her where the file was, we knew it was there this time, and she was able to run with it and do it, and allowed us to free up time. So I mean, I don't know, this conversation went into how do we help Adam hire somebody, but you know, are you tracking that stuff over the course of a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks to really figure out, to determine who you're going to hire next?
And you know, like some of those other things too, like because you know, you probably, I imagine you've done the exercise, but you have to like do that whole exercise, like, how can I pay for this person? How much work do I need to have to actually pay for them?
Yeah, not quite there yet. I'm just kind of anticipating that 2020 is gonna, you know, force me to ask those questions because like I said, my good, slow, steady growth has hit a point where I know that I've been extremely protective of my wonderful lifestyle. Like, I can pay the bills, billing like 10 hours a week, and I can, you know, roll out of bed at 8:45, 9:30 if I don't have a morning call. Like I like to I like to live.
That's what we call work-life balance.
I like it.
Yeah.
But I want Adam's life.
But you
I
guys,
want Adam's beard.
Yeah.
Sorry.
There's other things out there. You know, I'm taking on more business clients. I'm extremely happy with it. They're great relationships. I want to continue to say yes. So I want to increase my capacity. So
it's funny that we kind of were talking about this. I slacked my partner last night. We were talking about some stuff, and he was talking about a client where they're not happy with how we're backing up files, and he was going to switch them. The client suggested that we switch over to Time Machine server. And I agree with you all. But the thing that I said to him, so he's like, he did the, Justin, can you do this sad trombone? He was like, whoa, whoa. He's like, I have to go out there tomorrow and figure out how to, I'm going to get everybody right. And I said, you know, I was like, no, man, here's the deal. I have a script that sets the time machine destination. It's right here. This is how you do it. You'll just need to change this and this for this particular client. Get in the, you know, put in the login, put in the password, put in the address. And
wait, you have a script for this? I need you to send me this.
Yes, I do. And well, but what I told him was, I'm like, look, every single thing that I do every single day right now, this is my this year goal. Every task that comes up, I look at it and go, how can I systematize this, simplify this, automate it so that I don't have to get in the car? Like, whatever this is, how can I do this so that I don't have to go and get in the car? So yeah, I've got a script that sets the time machine destination. There's another one. I think in Adigy, there's a built-in start time machine and a stop time machine. So, you know, it's like stop time machine. Here's your set destination, start time machine, make sure it works, check it in Watchman. You know, report on it. But, you know, for where he is, from his home office out to this lovely winery in Woodinville, it's a 45-minute drive and a $4 toll each way. And then he's got to bump everybody off their computer for, you know, 5 minutes, 3 minutes. And yes, absolutely, there's good quality time, but that's not good time spent of a tech, you know, walking around the shop and hitting 20 different people and saying this, especially when, you know, we can spend 5 minutes writing the script, and the three of you know I'm the least technical guy in this room or any room I'm talking in. And if I can write the script, then anybody can write the script. But, you know, that's something that I can do and we can deploy to their team. And, you know, if we're worried about crashing their server with backups, hey, guess what? We don't have to make 4 trips out and start one person at a time to do these backups, or, you know, or 4 users at a time. Just automate it, do it behind the scenes. And that's, I think, a great way to, you know, help Adam, you know, from your standpoint, like, again, like fine tune those tools, sharpen those things so that you know, you can do that and and help you grow smartly and maintain the lifestyle and the stuff that you're doing.
I really feel like the timing that I've kind of come into like this point in my business is just kind of perfect, because where Apple's going with Mac OS, with MDM, is really like a huge multiplier, in terms of like what a single person can do.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
4 years ago, if I was thinking about taking on a business of 20-25 Macs, the landscape would be completely different, right? Like what's involved. I mean, there's tools, there's scripting, there's automation, but what it meant to be a Mac admin then versus now versus where we probably going to end up 1, 2, 3 years from now.
Absolutely. We used to consider that we would spend, like when we were doing this in 2010, we would, and we would kind of plan this out. We would consider an hour per computer per month of time, like that was kind of the baseline for what was needed to maintain things and keep them going. And that there are absolutely super solid hard limits on that, right? There's 40 hours a week. So one guy can handle 40 computers or whatever that is. So it's significant. You're right. The timing is fantastic.
And the tools are just getting better. I mean, the fact that we can, because it doesn't matter when this is getting dropped, but yesterday was that 0-day exploit in Chrome that got fixed. It may have taken a little while for Adigy to get it up in the public, but as soon as it was there, I deployed it to 350 computers, in 10 seconds? Yeah. We love Adigy. We're so glad they're part of the ACES community, and we're going to be happy to see them this year. Got to give a little love to where it's due. But then if you figured out all the tools and you've done everything else, then the next thing is, like I said, what I said earlier, which is find the thing that you're not good at. If you want to maintain that lifestyle and you're good at handling those computers and you're good at scripting and you're good at automating your tools and getting all that stuff, but you really want to get new clients and you're not good at marketing, or you're not good at sales, I'm just using it as an example, your next hire should be a salesperson, not another tech.
That's the weirdest thing to consider, but that's something I should really actually think hard about. Although it's
once in a while I'm right about things.
But that's really that's a challenge too, and I think we've talked about that before.
Sure.
Because a lot of Adam's a one-man shop, and so a lot of his business is based on him and his personality, and his customers love that. And bringing in a salesperson, somebody else who's going to be that first contact with a potential customer is not an undaunted, you have to get them to speak the way that you want to speak, and you got to find somebody who's really that. And it's
right. They have to share your voice.
Yeah. And you talk to a lot of people that do that as their first hire, and they really struggle too, or even as their third hire. I think people have a hard time finding a good person that can sell this type of work authentically.
Well, even if it's not a salesperson, but even if it's not a salesperson, even if it's a marketing person or a marketing team or whatever, whether he's spending his money on a person or a firm to help with whatever it is, the rules are the same, right? The anything that would help him grow, right? But if he feels like he's comfortable at the growth thing and he's not good at, I don't know, documenting passwords, hire an admin, whatever it is. All right, so Adam, just lay it out on the line.
This is so funny. This is so funny.
Adam, what are you not good at?
He didn't ask our opinion for anything. And we're just he says something, and then we're both like, no, you know what you need to do. This is what...
No. We're going to do, this is going to be
my value out of this call.
ACES Conference, the podcast therapy session. Adam, what are you not good at?
So, and this is something, a really excellent choice I made a couple of years ago. I absolutely hate talking on the phone, to the extent that I will just simply not answer it when it's very likely, I can see it ring and know that that's probably somebody who wants to pay me to fix their Macs. And that's what I do. And that's what I need to do to feed my children. And I hate the phone so much. I'll just hope that they're happy leaving a voicemail and happy getting the call back. But that could be a huge opportunity that I'm missing. So I signed up with Smith.ai. I hope they're coming to ACES this year. If not, that was a wasted sponsorship. But yeah, I have no regrets whatsoever because, now when I don't answer the phone, it gets answered. A human talks to, whoever's on the other end. And that's a much better experience than the either crappy voicemail message that I recorded or the robot that I don't even know what happens when you call my phone. So that's how much I hate it. So,
but that's good. So you solved the, we're solving problems he didn't know we had. You solved that issue. So now, okay, so we have the phone is being answered. You have those potentials. What else? What else can we find someone to fit in to make this wrap up with a nice little bow for the episode? It's really what we're trying to get at.
I mean, I think what I need to focus on is probably marketing, right? I think I'm a little bit probably too comfortable with, my recurring revenue basically doubled at the end of last year when I signed my biggest client ever, thanks to some really strong votes of confidence from folks in the ACES Slack. I did something that's hard for me, which was just ask for help. Although there's dozens of people online all day long just waiting to offer help and asking for help themselves, and I'm in there, but I to bring myself to do it is tough. But I just, I wrote a couple of sentences, and immediately folks were like, "Are you kidding? You've got this. You can do it. Yes, say yes. Go for it." And I did, and it would have been, crazy not to. So I'm concerned about getting really comfortable and feeling like, I'm going to just let word of mouth and other things take care of new business and sit back and, just handle the clients that I currently have.
So marketing, you could be looking at hiring a marketing person or a marketing firm, or looking at somebody to help you with SEO on your website like that. Going back to the real thing of who are you going to hire next? It doesn't sound like it doesn't, since you went there first, as opposed to saying, I don't have enough time to handle my current workload or anything like that. Clearly it's not another tech that you need. It could be that you need to ramp up more business before you get that second tech to go back to your lifestyle of, working 10 hours a week or whatever it is that you do.
I worked maybe 20. I built it.
So nice. We all want to be like Adam. But that's how you have to think about it, right? And I think that's true. Whether this is your first hire or fifth hire, it doesn't matter. We're at the same point, right? I have 3 employees. We hired a marketing firm because that was the next thing we needed. The thing after that is I need to hire a project manager / account manager. That's where we're at, because that's not where our wheelhouse is. And again, it doesn't matter if it's the first or the 5th hire, 10th hire, or whatever it is. You got to fill in where those gaps are. Until you get to the point where you've filled in enough gaps that you can start replacing things that you do with other people. And then you're just sitting home all day, drinking wine on a porch, collecting checks, like what Tim does.
That's right.
Making podcast videos all day long from his basement, and fixing ice makers with gold-plated tools.
Yeah, it's funny to realize that the situation I'm in now is what's really unfamiliar is thinking about how to spend money.
Mm-hmm. Right.
That's $19 a month. Can I really, should I do that?
Right.
I don't know. I can make it work without that. And now I've done that a few times, right? With Smith and with Zendesk and with these tools. I'm like, yeah, obviously, right? Each of these things lets me do so much more. Generate so much more value, generate so much more income. And now that the revenue is significantly up, I've got to really think clearly about where do I invest in the business with it, and probably talking to somebody outside for marketing might be the way to go.
Yeah. It's funny how that you get that comfort level, and you have these, you have these kind of ebbs and flows, and you have that for me, we ran our business basically off our debit card for years, and so I would have numbers in my head that if the bank balance was at X, I would just I was I couldn't sleep. I would just be holding on, okay, this customer will pay me tomorrow, someone, and the due date's coming, so everybody's going to pay or whatever. And then you grow a bit, and that number becomes significantly higher, where you're also suddenly worried, like, oh my gosh, wait, we only have X number in the bank, and you're like, and that number was a number you never dreamed of or imagined and so it's funny, and it's a real challenge to be constantly kind of evaluating that and thinking about, like, well, what is that next thing? And also I'm kind of a sucker for that, like, this next tool is going to really help me, and I will buy it and I will evaluate, and I will, like, well, okay, that's $20 a month, or it's $100 or 150 or whatever, and I have made it a real point in the last year to go back. I have a day every 6 months on my calendar where I go back and evaluate my tools and make sure that I'm actually using them, getting money, getting benefit from them, because, otherwise you end up paying my computer inventory $9, $10 a month for 10 years and never use it.
Just take a look at that one.
It's a great tool, and it's just getting better.
And I'm joking. I'm 100% joking about that, because I do not pay $10 a month for my computer inventory, because Justin gave it to me for free to test
Dude, don't let out the secrets.
He gave it to me for free to do this podcast every week.
No, you were beta testing it. Now I'm going to cancel your account.
That's fair. That's totally fair.
No, Adam's a subscriber of YCI.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Supports the team, unlike Tim. No, but that's right. You gotta pick the right tools. Lean and mean is the way to do it always, and things like that. All right, so just to cap it all off, when we see Adam next, he'll have 17 hires and 12 new tools that he'll be using between now and May.
It's gonna be busy.
It'll be busy. Adam, where can people find you online if they want to talk to you and help you out and do things with you?
I'm in all the Slacks. I'm in Mac Admin Slack. I'm in Aces Slack. I tweet at, I think it's like _Ask Adam, because there's all these stupid Adams out there who squat on the username and don't do anything. And yeah, that's about it.
All right. Well, Adam, thanks so much for being here. Tim, you have anything else you wanna share to the audience?
No, I'm again thankful for everyone to listen. All 83 of you. I'm glad you're here. I'm also so thankful we got through. Wait, hold on. ACES Conference, May 19th and 20th, 18th and 19th. I don't know, sometime 2020 in Atlanta. But here's the really important part. Adam, I want you to know I am so thrilled. Not only is this our 19th recording, or is it our 20th? No, I can't even remember. But this is also the first one we got all the way through without an aftermath joke. So I think we're gonna. I think we need to wrap and cut.
It's not over yet. It's not over yet.
We got through it. We're done. Justin, anything else? Can we go?
I was distracted. Colonel Potter says hi. May 19th and 20th are the dates you're looking for. acesconf.com. Get your tickets now. You can meet Adam, have a beer with him, meet Tim, have a glass of wine with him, learn about their business, learn about other people's business. We got a great lineup for you this year with our keynote, Matt Zachary, speakers, Rich Wingfield, Matt Wosohoff, Charles Edge, Dupe Aleru, and Melanie Curtis, and an Ask Me Anything with the board of directors, Adam Angst, Alan Hancock, Will O'Neill, Andy Espo, and myself, moderated by our own Brian Best. It's gonna be a great show. We got speakers, we got roundtables, we got sponsors, we got popcorn, maybe. I don't know. What more can you ask for? Sign up today, acesconf.com, and that's it. I'm done.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.